Before 1956, Sudan was under the joint control of Egypt and Britain. At the end of 1955, they gave a declaration of independence and became their own thing. The independence movement, however, was led by this guy, Ismail al-Azhari, and he was like, hey everybody, we are an Arab-oriented Muslim nation. But then like 8 million Sudanese black people were like, whoa now, hold your camels, Ishmael. Us Africans, we ain't all about your Allah. He was like, yeah, well who cares? Oh, I see. So they got into a civil war between the primarily Arab-Muslim North and the traditionally oriented African South. That went on for 16 years until finally the North's like, alright fine, you can do your thing. Like, you're still part of Sudan, but you can govern yourself for the most part. We'll take our falafels elsewhere. And that peace treaty lasted 11 years, from 1972 to 1983. Eventually, the South was like, well things aren't that bad now, but the Arabs still technically control us, so it could get worse. And I'm not in the mood for any Sharia law anytime soon, so we should probably go back to fighting. So then there was another civil war, which was basically a continuation of the first one, and that ran on from 1983 all the way to 2005, when finally the two sides made a comprehensive peace agreement, which led to South Sudan becoming totally self-governing in 2006. Then
Today in South Sudan, there's a conflict between the Janjaweed and the African-American Sudanese. Recent peace deals have not lasted, and the goal is to have peace efforts to be resolved with a new peace treaty. Janjaweed is a Darfur rebel group who believe that the African-American Sudanese were not people, and they were the problem. They believe that in order to resolve the problem, they must get rid of the African Sudanese.
Right. South Sudan's long-running peace process has reached another milestone. On September 12th, President Salva Kiir and opposition leaders, including Riek Machar, signed a power-sharing deal promising an end to a 5-year conflict that's estimated to have claimed nearly 400,000 lives and displaced 1/3 of the entire population.
South Sudan is a nation-state, and the Janjaweed are a sovereign entity whose actions are backed by the police and the military. South Sudan is demographically a similar area that is politically separated, and there's a we versus them mentality.
Well, this is Kyle DeCuffa.
And I'm Brittany Jesselson, and there's breaking news in South Sudan. In 2013, President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar had a falling out that led to a civil war, which turned into genocide. Eventually, it started into sub-tribes. The Janjaweed continues to take over villages, murdering many. It was just reported that a man was forced to eat his own child when he was murdered.
So, why are they killing children?
The Janjaweed believes that killing children will stop potential threats.
Well, there's been mass sexual violence also has been happening in South Sudan. Some of the Janjaweed, they use war tactics include raping women in order to give them AIDS in case they survive. There's also children who are stuck on death row in South Sudan. They have state executions that are escalating at the minute as we speak. There's been 7 killed in a Sudan plane crash just early as yesterday. A lot of bad stuff going on there, right?
Yeah.
Well, back to the weather.
I honestly feel like this war needs to stop between our people.
Definitely. I feel like I'm really worried and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, this honestly needs to stop. Our people are killing each other, and our people are in danger.
We need to be peaceful, and we need to, find out what we're going to do, because everybody just wants power. We need to figure it out without everybody dying.
Yeah, because honestly, our military and the police are not helping at all.
Nope.
So that's why I came to the table with the peace treaty.
Okay.
And see if you brought yours to see if we could, come to a conclusion. You think we can?
I think so. I think that we can come to a conclusion with this peace treaty.
There's a village about a mile down. We're going to go in and we're going to take the stuff. We're going to burn it all down and we're going to leave. Since our stuff not there, so we don't like that.
I feel like we shouldn't leave no survivors neither.
Everybody dead?
No women, no men, no nothing. Take all their stuff and we should leave.
Alright, we're going to burn it down. Let's go.
Sound fire, let's go.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. This is our land, we taking over.
Take everything. I need everything.
I need everything.
I need everything.
Hey, nah. You talking about a peace
I don't
treaty?
hear nothing.
Wait,
Let me see that peace treaty. Everything going.
No, wait, no, but we
Is that a peace treaty?
Peace
we need
treaty.
that.
Peace treaty?
Yeah.
About this
No,
What's peace?
peace.
Peace, we need that.
We don't do peace here.
Aliens gonna stop me.
Yes.
Y'all are not
Yes.
This
people.
is our
Y'all are
land.
not people.
Our land.
Not.
We know
Oh!
this.
Oh! We still got another one though, so it don't matter. It don't matter. Hey! Hey! Nah, no.
Let's go, y'all.
Mission accomplished. You got everything.
Took all the
That's
stuff
it.
we need.
Got the
rid of
call?
everybody
Got
here.
everything?
I took
Got it.
nothing.
No survivors out here.
On to the next village.
Brittany, how do you feel about what's happening in South Sudan?
I feel that it's very, very hard and very terrible. I didn't expect that things like this harsh are going on today. I think that it's really sad and it must be incredibly difficult to be in that position. I couldn't imagine going through something like that. I feel like it's just really like surreal for me, and I hope that everything can get better. And yeah.
Fritz, how do you feel about what's happening in South Sudan?
I mean, what's happening in South Sudan for me is bad. I mean, it's not good, but it happens in a lot of places. I know South Sudan is not the only spot, but in all actuality, they do need a lot of help from other countries, but they also need help from their own country first. They got to get their government intact. They got to get their stuff together and stop the Janjaweed, because honestly, I feel like the government is just scared to put a fight back and lose people, but you got to put a foot down if you want any type of order. But for people in South Sudan, right now, I'm going to tell them is you got to thug it out for a little bit, and one day, maybe y'all be all right.
As a country, what do you think we can do to help South Sudan?
I think as a country, the United States can focus a lot more effort into South Sudan, not because it's our responsibility, but because it's for the responsibility of the world as a whole. I think it's important that we focus on people more than just ourselves and realize that a third of their entire population was displaced, and that can't be accepted on a world level, not just a state level.
Kyle, how do you feel about what's happening in South Sudan?
I feel that everything that's happening in South Sudan is extremely horrible. There's a lot of problems there, and it's really bad. I believe that they need help more than they can handle right now. I think they need more help from other countries, which which would be the next step into making them better and making their economy flourish and making sure that the people there are safe, sound, which they aren't at all and haven't been for a while. So that's what I think we should do right now. And we should feel very lucky to live in America.
How do you feel about the situation that's going on right now in South Sudan?
I personally feel like it's not really a good thing. Like, honestly, you have never seen anything like that in New York or the United States in general. Like, well, I mean, at least that we don't know about. Like, imagine, like, the kids are actually being killed for no apparent reason. Those are the helpless ones. So imagine those are your siblings. Like, I have multiple siblings. So if my siblings were in a situation like that, or even my family in general, I know for a fact we're all going to be traumatized. So people that you care about, the people you love are dying. But these people in Sudan, we definitely don't know. Some may know, some may not know. But just think about how that would occur if that was your family.